Today, I'm giving my first impressions on First Impressions. Get it? Get it? It's because the title of the... Yeah, roll the intro. Hey guys, so welcome back to another episode of Phineas Flynn's Law. It has been a while since I've made a video. The last one was for the Phineas and Ferb movie, and since then we've gotten a lot of new Milo Murphy's Law episodes. Now, while all of them have been pretty great, there's one that stands out as just being one that I just need to talk about in particular, and that's First Impressions. Now, First Impressions, if you saw it, it's essentially a flashback episode that shows us not only how Milo and Melissa met, but also how Cavendish and Dakota met. But it also covers a third origin story that we didn't think that we'd get. And that's how Doof and Perry met. It actually revisits it, and before I get into my actual review, I just have to talk about this a little bit because there was some confusion as to what exactly was going on with this whole Doof and Perry reappearance. So here's the original scene from It's About Time.
It was the happiest day of my life. It was the day I decided to get my picture taken. But it wasn't until I got outside the photo store that my life changed forever. I had a feeling that there was someone hiding behind the mailbox. I had a nemesis!
And here's the version of it in Milo Murphy's Law.
But it wasn't until I got outside the photo store that my life changed forever. I had a nemesis! And that was how I first met Perry the Platypus.
Now, this can be confusing because in the Phineas and Ferb movie Across the Second Dimension, it stated that Perry was adopted 5 years ago, and First Impressions actually takes place 7 years earlier. So if you think about it, Perry shouldn't even be an agent at this point, much less grown up like he is in this shot. But director of the episode Robert Hughes actually clarified this on Twitter in a tweet in which he specifically says that it is a different timeline than Milo's story. So even though the cut seems to follow the bust from the previous shot, it's actually a different timeline. A little confusing, a little misleading, but that's what's happening. So this is a separate timeline from what's going on with Milo. They did not meet on the same day like the episode implies. Now, let's actually get into my review. I loved First Impressions. This was perhaps, it's right there with Managing Murphy's Law as one of my favorite episodes of the season. Just the pure adorableness of young Milo and Melissa. It's infectious. I just love it. Like I could just watch this episode over and over because it's just so cute. Every frame is, it's adorable. It is. Another side note, we get to see Chief Chase for the first time this season, so that was a nice little touch. We also get the story of the day Milo was born, and how apparently the Murphys didn't really go to check what gender their child was because, I mean, they're probably going to want to avoid any unnecessary trips to the hospital for the sake of the other patients. We also get to see Sarah, and she's into Dr. Zone, even though canonically she's not supposed to be quite obsessed with it yet, she's still getting influenced early on. Then of course on the kids side you have baby Chad, baby Mort, and baby Bradley, and baby Amanda. Okay, they're not babies, but like you get what I'm saying. We also of course get to see young Cavendish, Dakota, and Mr. Block, and their story I thought was particularly interesting in the way that it connected to Milo and Melissa's. I did not expect there to be a huge action chase scene in this episode. There's a large portion of it devoted to the action on the Faux River, and it's really cool. This scene in particular with Cavendish and Dakota had me laughing for it's perfect. It's perfect.
All right, Cavendish, you are on your way to becoming a fully fledged time agent. This deserves a lolly.
Slide over, Stretch. I need a ride.
Wait a moment. Who are you?
Is this for me? Thanks.
That's mine.
What flavor is this?
Black currant.
I'm not gonna ask what that is.
Wait. What are you doing? No. Wait down.
The fact that that's how Cavendish and Dakota first met, I cannot think of a better way for it to have happened. Dakota just putting food before everything else, like every other issue that they've had in their relationship, is how it gets started. Then of course there's a million more great comments. The designs are fantastic. Young Dakota, young Cavendish. It's so fascinating to see Cavendish in another outfit that's not his, time travel outfit. It's so weird to see him young, but I really like the design that they gave him for his younger self, and the same with Dakota. I think they definitely nailed all the character designs in this episode. In addition, I like the way they framed the story with Milo and Melissa kind of telling Zach and explaining how they met, and then also Dakota explaining to Doof how he and Cavendish met. If I had to say anything critical about this episode, it would probably be the whole Perry Doof thing at the beginning, which was a little confusing. In the end, this episode is pretty fantastic. If you haven't seen it yet, make sure you do that and check out all the rest of Milo Murphy's Law Season 2, because we're coming up on the season finale, which is coming up in 2 weeks. It's going to be at the very end of a super long marathon of every Phineas and Ferb and every Milo Murphy's Law ever aired, so it's going to be pretty epic. Now, before I go, I just want to quickly review some of the other episodes that have come out recently, since the last ones that majorly came out before this new batch were Cast, Party, and Look at This Ship. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about each of the other individual episodes. Safety First was really fun. We kind of got to see how Elliot and the Murphys had been intertwined really since Elliot's beginning. He thought that it was his carelessness that essentially ruined the circus, but no, it was pretty much because Martin Murphy was there. This episode also gave us one of the best school jokes in the whole series with the cut to establishing shot of school, and some of Doof's lines in this episode were they're just brilliant.
Anyway, Doggy Dog and I have come up with a new script, and it's pretty sweet.
This is just the word bark written a whole bunch of times.
Pretty sweet.
Cavendish Unleashed was okay. The joke with the people in the middle of the forest was funny, but it did run for a little bit too long. However, there was some amazing animation at the end of the episode as Cavendish discovers the room where the aliens have been monitoring Milo. Little interesting animation thing here. There's places and pictures where the aliens could not possibly have been. In addition, pictures from season 1, when apparently the aliens weren't even looking for Milo at that point. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. Maybe they'll actually explain that. Maybe they were looking for Milo during season 1. Oh, this episode also had one of my favorite songs from the season, but we'll keep track of that in the season 2 top 10 songs countdown. Then we have First Impressions, which I already reviewed. Then the second episode in this pair, which is the Speech and Debate the Speech and Debate League of Death and Destruction Crosstown Explosion event, which was absolute insanity, I guess is the best way I can describe it. It's insanity in the best way. Everything that you never thought would go down in a Milo Murphy's Law episode goes down. They bring back characters who we haven't seen in forever. Murray the Middleman gets his own theme song.
It's Murray the Middleman, the Middletown school mascot. He buys products from wholesalers and then sells them to retailers at a hefty price.
Murray the Middleman wrestles with the janitor and coach. Mr. Draco dresses like a wrestler, and it's crazy. It's crazy. Also a great song. Then we have the most recent episodes, which are the Mid-Afternoon Snack Club and Parks and Rec. Both of them a lot of fun. I love to see the conclusion of the conclusion, air quotes, of the Cyborg Bears story. And the Mid-Afternoon Snack Club is the first episode since Perchance to Sleepwalk where we've gotten 2 songs that I've just absolutely loved. We got Do What We Want, and then we got Searching High and Low for Milo. And I pretty much died laughing during the Bear song. There's so many great references if you've seen The Breakfast Club. It's so much fun to hear from the characters. And finally, somebody acknowledged that Chad and Mort look so similar.
And you, Chad, the jock who has everything going for him. Mort? Yeah, I can never tell the difference.
Thank you, I thought it was just me.
And then for Parks and Rec, we finally got some Melissa Amanda fighting. Doof and Dakota turn to blobs, and we got the best fourth wall gag of the show yet with Trucker Ted. And of course, this episode gets bonus points for having a Hamilton reference.
Don't worry, Principal Milder. Hamilton H. County Park isn't being used.
Hamilton H. County?
Hamilton is the less popular brother of Jefferson G. County.
Why haven't I ever heard of him?
His enemies destroyed his rep, and America forgot him.
So those are my quick thoughts on the most recent episodes of Milo Murphy's Law. Let me know what you thought down in the comments below. They are really knocking it out of the park as we head towards the season finale. The next 2 weeks of episodes are going to be pretty much all plot-based, so get ready for spoilers galore on the channel. I'm definitely going to be doing a live stream after this Saturday's episode, so be on the lookout for that. And the 5,000 subscriber special is coming. I know we got a huge blow up in subscribers, so welcome new subscribers to the channel. We're almost at like 5,500 now, but I kind of went ambitious with this 5,000 subscriber special, so it's coming. You'll enjoy it. Just trust me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time on Phineas Flynn's Law.